Curious Chimps.
Yeah, but it's also kind of scary how on one end you'll have people that don't trust science at all.
Sorry.
on one hand you'll have people that don't trust science at all, and then on the other breath they're trusting science in certain they're cherry picking what they trust, and that can get dangerous too. Because
or they're believing everything. Yeah, very dangerous.
You need to just because it has scientific background or whatever, and it's being whatever you want to talk about, you still have to have the same lens of skepticism, whether it's this guy saying it or X person saying it. It has to be. You can't put more weight because the authority figure who's saying it is more valuable or has more credentials, or is just, you have to have the same lens throughout the whole process.
So this is the practical side of that. When do you stop questioning everything? Do you ever stop? Do you
Look,
just
I'm
get
guilty.
used to
I'm
that?
guilty as fuck. Whatever Neil deGrasse Tyson says, I'm pretty much on board with.
Yeah, you take his word for it.
I take his word for it.
I don't care what black holes are doing.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me. But if he says, "Yo, if this happens and that happens and black holes and relativity," and I'm like, that kind of makes sense.
So I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it too. But maybe.
But it doesn't affect us. You know, there's a part that starts affecting your life.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if someone who looks at a different professional in the same lens that I look at Neil with and takes whatever he says as gold, and that's affecting their personal life. You know, I have to kind of understand that whatever Neil deGrasse would say, I'm on board with. I'm like, this is fucking true. He says it. It's got to be true. He's reviewed it. But someone
It's good enough.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be true, but it's true enough. You
Yeah.
know, we can
I feel like he's done the research for me, and I can move on with my life.
But feel is that's the important thing, is that you realize that. You're gonna take it with less grain of salt or no grain, like you're just not going to be scrutinizing at all because this doesn't affect your life. So you're like, if I'm going to talk about this at a party and sound smart or something, like,
yeah,
I'm not an astrophysicist. I can't go to that level.
Yeah.
There's not many things we can. That's the scary part. And whether you're going to jump on the Neil deGrasse Tyson train or the, I don't know, all the weird erroneous shit that's happening with COVID, or even if you go the other way with all these crazy conspiracy theories, and you go on YouTube and watch a 3-hour video with swelling music and a confident speaker,
and
you've learned nothing, but you suddenly believe something.
It gets dangerous.
Yeah, all of that is wrong.
Yeah.
All of that, you do not know. The best scientists, and thank God Tyson says this a lot, we never know. We're never sure.
Yeah.
Any scientist that comes in and says that, wrong. And he will say, look, I know this, but I did, dozens of years of fucking schooling and continued education. And like Sadhguru says that also. You want to talk about the afterlife? You want to talk about God? You want to talk about like the elements affecting your karma and reincarnation? You're not experiencing any of this. I'm just telling you a story. It's a lie as far as you're concerned. Why do you want to know these things? Sit, be still, feel it for yourself. And then now I start trusting you. And again, that can be used as a trick. But a little bit of trust goes a long way. A lot goes nowhere.
It can go in the opposite direction.
Exactly.
Too. It can lead you to storm a Capitol and think you're making history.
Great example.
But it's the truth. And I think this is a really, really strong point we should jump into, because
hit me.
The whole QAnon thing is an example of what we're talking about. Of you watching a 3-hour video and it makes so much fucking sense. The music is perfect. Your emotions are fucking boiling and the hormones are going. And all of a sudden everyone's a fucking pedophile and everyone is... Look, I was on board for that for a few weeks. It was not the QAnon stuff, but I was...
Yeah, Pizzagate, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, that shit was flying, man. And you know what? Maybe some of it's true, but I would tell you about 80% of everything is bullshit.
You know, well, here's the thing. Humans are going to do what they can. We're like water. We fill the cracks. I've always said that. So some crazy shit like that is happening somewhere, and we should change systems so that these things can be mitigated and negated, fully negated. Stopped. They're horrible, horrible possibilities that I don't even want to conceptualize fully or verbalize fully because it's just horrific for me. But it's part of reality. That we're just weird, like the story you said, the experiment where people get up. We end up doing weird shit to each other because we just were raised a certain way or whatever. And I don't know, but your point is big because, I have a friend who sends me a video. He's a smart guy. I have nothing against him. But he's falling into some things, and he sends me a video, and I watch the whole thing, and it's like I wasted 30 minutes because I learned nothing. It was clips of Trump. It was QAnon stuff. It was like, oh, and then he did this, and then this, and then they kept using a word over and over. I can't remember what it is right now. Concessions.
Okay.
He kept making like party leaders and governments and religious leaders give concession. And I'm like, what is he saying? He said nothing. I've learned nothing in this video. Am I just stupid? Like, and then I ask him, explain this to me. Make this make sense. You know, like, are you just getting a feeling from a video? Like, I'm asking, but I'm also maybe saving you from being stupid. But maybe you can save me from being stupid. Let's be less wrong together. You know.
Yeah.
And he just went. He just didn't have anything. And I'm like, okay, now you have to deal with that. I'm back to zero, and now you're in a negative.
This is the danger I was getting to you about, is when you nitpick your critical thinking and you nitpick you cherry pick your scopes of what you want to believe and what you want to take in that's true and what you want to push away that's false.
Yeah.
And it gets compromised because you want to believe something and your desire compromises and corrupts your critical thinking. And then you're watching that video and you're convinced. And now all of a sudden you form like this callus on your opinion. And it's not going to change that with the ease anymore. It's like embedded.
Yeah.
But it's on a fucking false premise from the beginning. But you've tricked yourself into turning off your critical thinking just to believe it. And, you know, that's the scary part, because I was seeing a lot of people saying 5 more days, he's going to show everyone QAnon is coming. Just wait. 3 more days, the military are going to take over the U.S. Biden it's a fake election.
It's like the
and they're sending me videos.
7 days.
They're sending me videos of, look, some of my friends, I dearly love them, but you guys got to really start to rethink the way you process information, because they're sending me videos, or not even videos, just breakdowns and how it's really a military government. Biden, it's all an act. They own the media. They're in like a fucking blue screen or a green screen, whatever. And it's all like, look at the distance of these people behind Biden and this video angle, and see the switch of the angle, different people. And I'm like, you guys have to understand, these cameras are probably like 10 kilometers away, zoomed in. You know, it's like they look right behind each other, but there's probably like 15 meters behind these people. It's just a camera angle. You know, it's literally.
Well, you can really get lost in the minutia when you start feeding hope into this.
I know, because
and then you're like, that must be true also. That must be true. Yeah.